Well, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. I trust that you are well this fantastic day. It is Wednesday, and the background I have today, I don't know, I was poking around last night, and I saw this really pretty porch, and I immediately got something that I really am not very much of, and you probably already know. I'm not a nostalgic person. Um, but it reminded me of a picture that was taken of my friends Eddie Adams Jr. and Gabriel Phillips as they were the hosts of Porch Talk Radio. Porch Talk Radio was on 860 WGL, and it was then on public access TV. It was Porch Talk Radio on TV, and I got to be a contributor actually. Not on the original radio program, but on the TV program, and then Porch Talk Radio was on WTMP 1150 radio until the death of its founder Eddie Adams Jr. I think he died in September. So we are honing in on the anniversary, the first anniversary of his death, and I don't know. I saw it and just sort of I thought, it's kind of one of those things where this is why I keep going. I am as frustrated and saddened by what we see as anybody, but this is kind of why I keep going. The first story I wanted to bring you yesterday was not story like this; it was story time, and I trust that you will watch that video and comment, and I trust that you will watch this video to the end and comment because I got something for you at the end, a chance for you to participate. If you choose to, you ain't got to, because nobody has to do anything. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. But anyway, uh, and this is and I know I'm not getting there, but I know this is an important thing for me because one of my former saxophone students' father is very, very sick, in the hospital with COVID and then pneumonia. Because COVID, if it goes bad, it will cause pneumonia. Um, yes. And we never said that COVID won't go bad in people because it does go bad in people. 99% of the people who get COVID will recover. And I'm believing that this man will recover too. It is my former student's dad, and I'm believing that he will recover as well. But he's going through it right now. So, Nikki and the Johns family, you have our prayers, and we are excited about hearing of your release from the hospital and how well you're doing. We are looking forward to that in Jesus' name. All right. However, Republican Senator Rand Paul, Dr. Rand Paul, has officially referred Dr. Anthony Fauci to DC U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves for criminal investigation. Wow. After repeatedly lying to Congress about his role in the funding dangerous gain of function research. Now, gain of function research was to find out. Let me simple it up for us that went to public school. Gain of function research is how can we take this thing and we can make it do something for us. We know this thing exists in nature. We've got this bottle cap. Can't see that. We have this bottle cap. Can we make this? Let me put it on the back of my hand. Can we do something to make this work for us? Well, now we're going to research to see if we can use it. Well, it'll act as a cap on this. Okay. Can we weaponize it? Sure, we can melt it down and make a really hard bullet out of it. Gain of function research. So pursuant to U.S. Code 18, Section 1001, which reads, whoever makes any materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent statements or representations as part of any investigation, review, conducted pursuant to the authority of any committee, subcommittee, commission, or office of Congress, consistent with applicable laws of the House or Senate, is subject to criminal fines and imprisonment of up to 5 years. Senator Paul wrote in a letter to Graves detailed Fauci's statements and false claims. before Congress, Fauci denied funding gain of function research. Remember? I'm old enough to remember that. Yes, they didn't have anything to do with it. The problem is that there's video of it. The problem is that Fauci can't go, well, I didn't say that. Well, it's it's in it's in the congressional record. It's on videotape. Yes, he did. Before Congress, Fauci denied funding gain of function research. To the press, he claims to have a dispassionate view on the lab leak hypothesis. And in private, he acknowledges gain of function research at the Wuhan Lab of Virology to his colleagues. 8, his own colleagues have acknowledged Dr. Fauci's inconsistency. 9, a congressional hearing, however, is not the place for a public servant to play political games, especially when the health and well-being of American citizens on the line. He writes, and Paul continues, for this reason, I request that you investigate whether Dr. Fauci's statements to Congress on May 11th, 2021 violated U.S. Code 18, Section 10001, or any other statute. Wow. So under questioning, Fauci has reportedly denied gain-of-function research was being conducted at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, where a lab leak of COVID-19 resulted in a pandemic that killed millions of people worldwide, destroyed economic prosperity, and set back child education by a generation. And that is true. Fauci retired as the government's highest paid employee late last year. You know, and here's the deal. If Dr. Paul is going after Dr. Fauci, then he needs to go after Dr. Birx too. He needs to go after Dr. Birx too. They were in there, like they said from the movie Shawshank Redemption. There's 6 thieves. They were all in on it. If you do some research about Dr. Fauci and HIV, you will actually, a lot of you will be disappointed. A lot of you will be very disappointed. I got a wind of Dr. Fauci's handling of HIV from a friend of mine who we are, I don't know, how can I say this? We are diametrically opposed. We have diametrically opposed views on politics. But I like Bob. Always have. And I believe that I always will. But he wasn't real. He wasn't real impressed with Dr. Fauci either. Check out Dr. Fauci and HIV during that crisis and see if the Dr. Fauci that was presented every day, all day long, where the kid from New York is singing the song to Dr. Fauci. But when you start singing songs to people, it's just weird. Stop it. Stop making up songs. We love you, Dr. Fauci. We love you. Yes, we do. We love you, Dr. Fauci. Bring the vaccine to us too. Okay, Dr. Fauci didn't create the vaccine. So if you have a problem with the vaccine, then you have a problem with warp speed and you have a problem with Donald Trump. I know this gets complicated, doesn't it? Anyway, yeah. So we will see how all of that works out, and we'll keep an eye on that because I think that's a very, very important story. I think, don't you? Don't you think that's an important story? I do. As an aside, the U.S. women's soccer team was eliminated a number of days ago. You know what's terrible? It isn't that they got eliminated because it's a World Cup. Most people don't win the World Cup. Most teams don't win the World Cup. Some have never won it, let alone twice or three times in a row or whatever it was. Some people, some teams participate year after year, decade after decade, and never win it. So getting eliminated in and of itself not such a terrible, weird thing. Is that some people are, and I'm not happy about it. Glad we lost. Glad because it isn't like, and I misspoke. It isn't like glad we lost. It's glad they lost. And this leads to a larger problem, and it may be generational. I don't know. What do you think? It may be generational. It may be generational in the sense that if you are on one of these national teams, you don't think that you are now representing the country and all of the country, all of it. That you're representing Republicans, Democrats, Green Party, liberals, conservatives, gay, straight, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, all the people who say, "Oh, I'm an American." When they go somewhere, they go to Europe, they go, "Where are you from?" I'm an American. Ooh, I'm from the United States. You're representing all of them who have lined up behind the USA banner. So you're wearing USA emblazoned across your chest. Now you are all of our representatives. And I really don't think that this new generation, a lot of them really understand that or accept, or if they do, they don't accept it. I believe they believe it, that they are representing themselves and maybe their teammates or their generation. So they're not connected. And they're obviously not connected with, Rapino and her attitude towards everything and everybody as one of the better players on the team historically. I think she wore out her welcome and she took the team with her because it really became about her and not the team. So when she misses two penalty kicks, that's a problem. People are going to blame her. That because that's how it is in sports. Because that's how it is in sports. People are going to blame her. They are. And some people are and Kurt Schliesser, who actually has found a place at Town Hall, writes an article that we're not going to read, entitled "I'm so glad the chicks soccer team got defeated." Well, I'm not. What makes me sad is that there are those of us who are not disappointed. I'm not a big soccer fan. Care really that much about soccer, men's or women's. Just don't care that much. But I will, if it's on and if the United States is in the finals and has a chance to win the finals, and yeah, I'm as go get them USA as the next guy. So and I only care. I'm not a soccer fan. I'm only a USA fan. It's like hockey for me. I'm not a hockey fan. I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. I'm not a baseball fan, but I am a Tampa Bay Rays fan. And we're going to Faith Night on this Saturday. So check out my Instagram page because we are going to Faith Night with the Tampa Bay Rays. All these teams do, the gay nights and gay days and that kind of stuff. And you see what the Dodgers are going through. So we're going to Faith Night. They have Faith Night every year, where some of the people of faith who are on the team come out and talk about their testimony and whatever. So check out the on my Instagram page because I'm going with my church group, and I will be doing some of on Instagram on Fight Back Media. We'll be doing some live stuff, so make sure you check that out. That'd be very cool. All right. Yeah, so write down in the comments. Do you care? Do you care? I'm disappointed that I don't care. I'm disappointed. I'm saddened that I'm not sad. I'm not. I mean, it didn't hit me like, dang. You know, I wanted to hit. I wanted their loss to hit me like, oh crap, we lost. You hear what I said? Oh crap, we lost. Yeah, and I'm sort of hopping in there like it's we. Like I've been supporting them all along, and I haven't. But it's what we. That's how we do it, right? Ah crap, we lost. I guess I was more relieved. I'm I'm playing with the cat on the porch. Here's the cat toy. There you go. And there's the cat. Yes, indeed. But here's the cat toy. And there's the cat. You hear it. But I wanted to be more disappointed that they didn't win. But I wasn't. Are you? No. Me either. Write down in the comments why you think that is. Love to hear, love to read what you have. It's like why or do you feel different than I do? Were you crushed that they didn't win, and you really you think that those of us who aren't crushed are somehow jerks and awful people? Um, you know, huh? What do you think? Andy No, who was a journalist, his court case against Antifa, a civil court case, was concluded. And here's what happened. At the conclusion of journalist Andy No's multi-day civil trial against Rose City Antifa, whose far-left militant members brutally beat the investigative reporter when he went undercover to expose Antifa's extremist activities on riot-torn streets of Portland. I'm old to remember that. A 12-person jury in Portland reached a verdict in the case on Tuesday evening, last night, reportedly finding both of the defendants not liable for all claims. The Post Millennial senior editor, represented by attorney Harmeet Dillon, nonprofit Center for American Liberty, sought almost $1 million in damages in the lawsuit, accusing the co-defendants of assault, battery, theft, and intentional infliction of emotional distress over a series of violent Antifa attacks beginning back in 2019, where No was hospitalized for brain hemorrhage. Wow. In closing statements, here's how we know that some parts of the country have fallen. In closing statements, defense counsel Michelle Burrows told the jurors, listen to this, not only does she self-identify as an anti-fascist, she strongly declared, I am Antifa, and insisted upon making herself an I am Antifa t-shirt, which the activist attorney said she would wear after the trial. So in spite of Antifa's well-documented history of violence, Burrows told the jury that Antifa's unfavorable reputation is untrue and depicted the organized militants as activists fighting for social justice. This is why we have to be really super careful about these phrases. Woke, social justice. Unfortunately, now they've co-opted civil rights. Resistance in this country has never been peaceful, Burrows argued in defense of Antifa, admitting that those tormentors were, in fact, terrorists. So rather than taking the time to provide evidence as to why the defendant should be free of liability, which he really doesn't have to do this in this article. I mean, that's what Matt, you know that. She didn't have to do that. The judge announced that the jurors, wait. Burrows instead defended anti-fascism and attacked No's credibility as a journalist. So even if he wasn't a journalist, even if he was just a dude, it was okay to just whip his ass, right? Right? So what's that have to do with it? You're not even a journalist. So what? Human being. This is the part that's here's the part that's scary. Burroughs also told the jurors that she will, quote, remember each one of their faces. She said to the jury, I will remember each one of your faces. Wow. So before jury deliberation commenced, the judge announced that the jurors have raised safety concerns about being doxxed and claimed that people have been trying to identify them. So according to a post-preliminary report by the Seattle-based correspondent Katie Daviscourt, prior to the trial's conclusion, the judge issued a court order banning the public and non-credentialed press from the courtroom during the duration of No's jury trial, as it was underway in Multnomah County Circuit Court. The judge's decision was made due to multiple in-court disruptions since the trial began. So, citizen journalism is being stopped. So if you are a credentialed, means nothing. All that means is that somebody that they like, that they recognize, has said, yes, this person works for us. And that's all it means. It doesn't mean that you went to college and you have a journalism degree. It don't mean any of that. What it means is that you work for somebody they like. And that company said, yes, they work for us. Well, now you have a credential. If you didn't work for one of those groups, the judge said that you couldn't be in the courtroom and you couldn't take pictures. So on the final day of the trial, both No and his colleague Daviscourt, who had been providing day-by-day coverage, were harassed by Antifa associates. As No was heading to court, while Daviscourt was threatened inside the courtroom. As Andy was coming into court, Daviscourt was threatened actually inside the courthouse. As the jury sat down to deliberate, get in the elevator with us, one of the co-defendants, joined by two others, told Daviscourt in a threatening tone, calling her a multitude of names. Why don't you get in the elevator with us? We want you here. Daviscourt tweeted, Antifa defendant Elizabeth Renee Richter, also known as the alleged doxer, just confronted me inside the courthouse. She is roaming around with the other members of Antifa. They called me a plethora of names and implied threats. Very unprofessional. No's legal team had hoped that the landmark case would hold lawless Antifa extremists accountable. Dillon, alongside No's fellow journalists and supporters, took to Twitter to weigh in on the jury's decision, expressing widespread outrage. This is going to make it tough. This is going to make it very hard. And in some places, very, very scary. All right. We're going to take a very short break. We'll be back with what I promised you, an opportunity right after these messages.
And this is not a criticism of you. I would think as a business guy, you use every advantage. These are not business guys. This is the Vice President of the United States. He's not allowed to be working on businesses with foreign governments while he's Vice President. I don't think.
Not that I know of.
But here he is.
Right.
Amazing.
All right. It was only really a matter of time before everybody got to see how difficult it is and how damn near impossible it is for people that we're going to call citizen journalists to make a difference. Because what everyone knows is that because we've got these, this is just my phone, but we can record a lot. We can document a lot. We can document a great deal. And we can be in places so quickly. Places where maybe they don't want us to be. Showing things that they don't want us to see. People in the Ukraine enjoying the misters on the streets because it's so hot. If misters going on in this war-torn place, right? That we're sending billions of dollars to. Well, all hell's breaking loose in San Francisco. But they've got misters. How do we know this? Because we see these on Twitter, on X, whatever he's calling it this week. I don't care. But citizen journalists, somebody with a cell phone, recorded it and uploaded it, shared it with us. So here's your opportunity as the pressure against non-credentialed, and I'm saying that with an ensconced face and air quotes. For those of you who are listening on iHeartRadio and Spotify and Spreaker and the like, as the attacks on non-credentialed journalists are increasing, we saw what happened to Project Veritas because Project Veritas and the people didn't work for a normally accepted credentialed organization. Credential doesn't mean the credential doesn't really mean anything. However, what we're willing to do here at fightbackmedia.com, if you are someone who is involved at that level and you have videotape that you've recorded, if you've got places where you've been and you want to tell the story of what's happened, where you are and what you've seen, what you've experienced, what you've covered, and you want to share that, and you've been wondering, how do I get that story out? Who do I tell? I sent that to my local TV station and I never heard back. I sent my article to that local newspaper and I never heard back. That letter to the editor, I never heard back. Paul and I are here. We're listening. We're ready. Please talk to us. Fightbackmedia@gmail.com. Fightbackmedia@gmail.com. I want to hear from you. Paul wants to hear from you. Let's see if we can get your story told. Let's see if we can push the narrative and the importance of citizen journalism back to the front. Because it's the only way that the Republic gets saved is when the truth gets out. Fightbackmedia@gmail.com. Fightbackmedia@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know who you are. Let's have a conversation. Can't wait to hear from you. My name is Willie Lawson. This has been The Morning Report. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.